want you to take your two fingers like this and place it on your throat or on your wrist if you want. I want you to try and feel that. Can you feel the subdued pressing against your fingers? That's the feeling of your heart, and it's the contractions and expansions of the chambers of your heart as it's pumping 1.3 gallons of blood throughout your entire body every second. It's a really powerful organ. In fact, it's the most powerful muscle in your entire body, but often we take for granted what we already have. For some people, the heart is stunted in its development early on in life, and it leads to the formation of what is called atrial septal defects, basically just holes in the heart. So according to the Cleveland Clinic, atrial septal defects are the third most common congenital heart defect in America, which congenital heart defects are essentially just defects of the heart present at birth. So for adults, it's the most common, and it's especially most prevalent among women. So if you know someone who has a defect, or you are a woman, this is something to be concerned about. Because atrial septal defects covers a wide range of different defects on the heart, I'm just going to be focusing on one. It's called the patent or foramen ovale, and I will explain what all of that means in a second. So though relatively speaking, congenital heart defects are relatively rare, affecting only about 1% of the population of infants in the U.S., the research has implications that extends all the way into cardiovascular research, which is really important because cardiovascular research is cardiovascular disease is the leading cause of death in the U.S., and that's really serious for us as Americans. So as a materials engineering student and someone who has had the opportunity to discuss this topic with Dr. Subbu from the Nanyang Technological University in Singapore, it's my hope that today I can elucidate the findings and implications of this research in pediatric cardiology. Okay, so in order to first understand the solution, it's really important to understand the problem itself. Basically what happens is before birth, a fetus's blood is circulated, oxygenated, and regulated by the mother because the lungs are not functional, they're in the womb. So what happens is this connection is called the septum, and it connects the right and left parts of the heart. And what happens is there's a hole in it inside the womb, and it's fine. There's no bad reason for that. But there's a hole in it, and usually what happens is after birth, that hole will heal because the infant is now independent from the mother, and it has to oxygenate its own blood. Basically, that just means blood will come in through here, go through the lungs, get oxygen, and go out through there. And these two parts right here, they're called the atria. They're the upper chambers of the heart, and they're responsible for pumping the blood in and out. And that's what we're going to be focusing on today. So this hole in the fetus during pregnancy is called the foramen ovale, and when it heals, it goes away. But for some kids, that doesn't heal, and it becomes the patent foramen ovale. And because it's a long word, I'm just going to call it the PFO. So according to a study by Calvert, Rana, Kidd, and Shapiro in the Nature Reviews Cardiology Journal, the PFO allows mixing of oxygenated and deoxygenated blood that, while it's generally harmless, it can lead to serious implications later in life, such as neurological development being stunted, and in more serious cases, strokes and even aneurysms. So there's also a difficulty in detecting whether or not the PFO is present after birth, and that can lead to later on in life when someone doesn't know that they have a PFO, they just have an unknown cause for a lot of different complications in their life, and that can lead to a decreased quality of life. Some of the neurological issues that have been linked to PFO include sleep apnea, amnesia, and in more extreme cases, cryptogenetic strokes, as I explained, which are just strokes without a cause, and aneurysms. So clearly the need for a solution has presented itself, but what has the scientific community been doing about this? In 2011, a study by Taniguchi and Akagi revealed this transcatheter closure method. I'm not going to go into it, but all you need to understand is that it's basically a procedure that would replace bypass surgery for clogged arteries that show up in heart attack cases or heart attack cases. So it's a non-invasive procedure, and this is really important because it kind of was the segue into understanding how to solve the PFO problem, and a lot of the research on the biomaterials was used in the research for the PFO. So in 2014, Venkataraman and his team from the Nanyang Technological University at Singapore developed an occlusion device made from the same biomaterial. It's a biodegradable polymer, and it serves almost as a graft to close the PFO. So basically what they did was they used a Chinese lantern design, as they call it, and it almost acts as like a plug to stop the hole in the heart. And what happens is they coat it in some kind of drug. There's a lot of tests right now about the best kind of drug to use, but it triggers this process called endothelialization, which is essentially, it triggers the immune system to cause cells to come and want to heal this because they sense a foreign entity, but in the process, it's also healing the tissue itself. So as a result, the hole in the heart heals. And the reason why the biodegradable polymer part is so important is the material used for this device needs to biodegrade in the body so that it's not permanent, otherwise it could lead to problems later on. So this will biodegrade within about 6 to 12 months, which is ample time for the hole to heal itself. So why is this important? This research is not contained just to pediatric cardiology. The implications can be extrapolated to all kinds of research, including, as I said before, cardiovascular research. Because cardiovascular disease is such a big issue in America, I think this research is really important for us to be considering. Some of you may know someone who has suffered from cardiovascular disease or are affected by it, and I think it's really important to just always consider this kind of research and what the scientific community is doing to make those steps toward finding a solution. So in a study by Matakaki, Fukuya, and Sharfana, over 2.4 million people suffered from some form of congenital heart defect in America in the past year. With this new research, more people can start to find a way towards a solution and understand the problems behind the complications of their life. This study also has immense impacts for the healthcare system financially, because if we have procedures like this that are minimally invasive, they're non-invasive, and they're minimally expensive, that means this procedure is more available to more people at cheaper costs. The other problem is that with bypass surgeries, the recovery time often is long, and so the medical bills will stack up, and with this, it kind of just completely cuts that out of the financial aspect. Unfortunately, this research is highly reliant on funding from private sponsorship, and according to Singhi and Sivakumar in the Annals of Pediatric Cardiology Journal, the financial support and sponsorship for pediatric cardiology, in their words, is nil. And though this is the sad future, it is the reality of pediatric cardiology. So just remember that every breath and beating of the heart is precious, and just take into account the hard work that's put in by the scientific community to advance. Despite the breakthrough in technology, the research funding for pediatric cardiology still remains low. And even though there's a desire to heal broken hearts, it's outmatched by the lack of resources. And for scientists like Dr. Van Kopperman,